Welcome to Truth Be Told. The views and opinions that you hear today are variations of individuals in the community. We're not trying to minimize females, males, the single life, or individuals in relationship. We're all simply just looking to have the truth be told. So in today's episode, we're talking about Cougars and Jaguars. Before we get into it, I want to explain Cougars and Jaguars, the philosophy, real quick.
Sure. Jaguars is older men dating younger women.
Mm-hmm.
Cougars is old women dating younger men.
All right, so how we feel about it?
I disagree with that. Many reasons.
Go ahead.
And speaking of Jaguars, it just doesn't look right. Especially like if you're dating an older man and you're a younger woman, gray hair, and then the gray-head man.
So I'm just saying, you being the 22-year-old yourself,
yeah,
you wouldn't date an older guy?
Oh no, can't keep up. You know, the gray beard thing would be like the daddy-daughter relationship. And if you are seen in public kissing a gray-head man, people are going to stare. They're like, what is going on here?
Is his teeth in or out?
Exactly.
So you worry about the perception?
Yes, definitely.
Care about other people's thoughts, huh?
That's right.
How you feel about it?
As far as dating older women, I wouldn't do it. For me personally, I wouldn't do it. Like she said, I wouldn't want to be seen dating walking around with a 50-year-old woman. Everybody, is that your grandmother? Is that your mother? I wouldn't do it. Maybe behind closed doors, it's different. It's correct, but in public, probably not. I agree with her.
How we feel about over here?
Well, I agree with them. I dated an older guy. He wasn't that much older, but he acted so much older, and everybody's like, "Is that your father?"
Oh yeah, it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Like we used to go out, hang out with the friends, go bowling. He was just an old man. Like
he was just an old man.
You gotta go, sir.
So how do you feel about it?
I don't mind it. I mean, last year I did a hit single and went ghetto gold. It's called 65 and over because I got a Range Rover. So check that out. I mean, I like the No, but I mean, it all depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if you're looking for a committed relationship where you want to, maybe have children or something along those lines, then no. But if you're just looking to have fun, like say for instance, you're 30, she's 45, and you don't want any children. Obviously, she probably had children, doesn't want any children, and you just want to have fun, then why not? I mean, when you talk about you're 30 and she's 60 or 70, then it's like, well, wait a minute, that's too old. I think that's like beyond Cougarish. I don't even know what you call that, but that's kind of beyond it.
That's grandma stage.
That's
But
grandma
what kind
stage.
of fun can you have with, like I just said in my situation?
You can, yeah.
We didn't have that much fun because we was on two different levels of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you can, because if you're saying you're in your 30s, say you're mid 30s and she's like 50, but she's a young 50, you guys can go out, have a good time. You can still date and have fun, and if the relations are good, then why not? Like, I mean, if you look at someone like Angela Bassett, you're not going to say, "Oh, she's too old." If she said, "Yes, I'm 56," are you going to say, "No, you're too old"?
I agree with you because I know I can have a lot of fun with Jennifer Lopez. I know that for a fact. Neil Long, if you're listening, I can have a lot of fun with individuals that age. You feel what I'm saying?
Vivica A. Fox.
Vivica A. Fox, they're in the Cougar range.
Yeah, when you're looking at the
She
Cougar
don't know.
status, but let's talk on the Jaguar status. Like, how can you have fun when they're like more subtle, reserved? All they want to do is dinner, maybe foot rubs at home. They're not trying to do any extravagant stuff.
How old is your Jaguar though? How old is a Jaguar?
All right, let's say the
in relation to your
Jaguar.
age.
Let's say the Jaguar was 54.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm 31 now.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna want to do the same things that I still want to do this age, like at my age range now, like going out still, staying out to the wee hours late in the morning time, drinking, partying still.
I mean, I don't know.
Sex could be an issue. You might need a little Viagra. You might have a little problem. I mean, it's going to be an issue.
Well, I look at it like this. If he's 54 and he's young 54, I mean, you don't expect him to turn up till 4 o'clock in the morning. But I'm sure if he wants to go out and go partying with you, or he likes to drink, because again, I know guys in their 50s, you would think they're 20 years younger because they keep themselves healthy and fit, so they don't look and act 54. But 31 and 54, yeah, that's like old enough to be a dad. But let's say he's 45.
See, my pops is in the 50s. He does the work. I believe it. Yeah, it's in the genes. I think he could give the work to. I think it depends on what you're talking about. I'll talk to him about you. Go ahead.
Yeah. What?
No, what I was going to say is that if you don't want to deal with somebody, if you already know that person's already settled down and is not going to want to go out there, don't even put yourself in that situation. You know what I mean? basically, I would just say, stick to, don't go to the Jaguar route, don't go to the Cougar route, because in my experience, I know there's some Cougars out there that actually are already settled down in a committed relationship.
They're still looking, yeah.
But they still look, because they just want to have fun for that one night. But they don't want to do it all the time. So, like you said, it's not, if you try to get committed and trying to do something, then the Cougar Jaguar route, I wouldn't go.
Right.
But as far as like, if they just want to have fun and just want to kick it once a year,
Once a quarter, right?
let them call you. You don't call them.
Exactly.
So do you think it became more popular within our society nowadays? I feel as though there's a lot of Cougars and Jaguars, or the terms is getting more popular. You think society has made it more acceptable?
I think so, and I mean, especially when you have your TV shows and they'll show like an older woman dating a younger man. What's the name of the show with Courtney Cox? It's Cougar Town, I think it's called.
Okay.
Cougar Town. I mean, and that show's being put out there, so I think it's become more popular. But I do have a question. So, what's the difference between a cougar and a MILF, or is that term still being used?
Well, I know MILFs.
Like, is a MILF an older cougar?
Yeah,
I mean,
because what? It's a mother.
I'd like to F.
Right, so
but
a
she
mother
still
could,
looks good.
a mother could be in their 20s now.
Yeah.
So
I
a
don't
mother
think
could
it has an
be
age
in the
range on
teens.
that.
It doesn't have an age range.
Yeah.
She just has a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Well, a few kids.
It still looks good, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we think it's becoming more acceptable, but we're all talking about our age now. So you're trying to say 10, 20, 30 years from now, you might not be looking at the younger generation to... go ahead.
I'm just saying, I think that people should stay in their age bracket so you can do age bracket things. You know? If you want to be young, you get someone in your age bracket and let's go have some fun, but don't try to get a younger person and you can't keep up. Y'all on the Superman in the front row and you about to have a heart attack.
I know.
Trying to have fun.
That's what I'm saying, but y'all are talking about old men. I mean, if he's 10, 15 years older than you, how is that a major difference when you're talking about Viagra and heart attack and
Well, that is a difference because if he's 15 to 20 years older than me, when I was born as a baby, he wasn't thinking about me when he was 20. So, I mean, now that I'm up there, like I just got to 30, and then now you're 50, 60 years old, we have nothing in common. And you're still going to go back and treat me like I'm younger than you. Like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do this, or you're going to try to school me to do this. Like, I'm going to get that speech
But
from
what
you.
I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. You guys are talking about old. I'm saying if he's mid-40s, you're early 30s. How is that a massive difference in age and what you like and dislike?
Well, let's change the age difference. Let's change it to like 30 to like a 17-year-old or 18-year-old. Let's change that. Like now it's different. Now it's like, wait a second, something's kind of off here. Like, what are you doing? Picking her up from high school.
Exactly. Right. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Right. But see, if he's 45 and you're 31, he's not picking up from high school. Like, you guys could work, same profession, same building, you can have the same interests.
Yeah, but see, that's adults. Yeah. We're talking about a minor. So therefore, we both can't have a drink together. We legally can't go to a club 21. So that's a big difference.
To his point, which is true, like I'm 27. I'm not going to talk to a 21-year-old. Just because I just don't think I'll have anything in common. Just like his boy, your 30-year-old picking up a 17 is not going to happen. So in reverse, a 45 picking up or talking to a
31 to 45 is kind of gross.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's kind of gross because she's 31, but it's like you go pick up somebody from the elderly, from a shelter or something.
Okay, so what would you guys consider too old? So, like, say you're 31, what would you consider your cutoff? That's too old.
It depends what I'm trying to do.
If you're you're just looking to have fun. You don't want to have kids. You're just looking to just kick it, have fun, whatever's whatever. What's the oldest you would go?
I go 3 wrinkles per the face. Per cheek line, 3 wrinkles the most.
No, we're talking about age range, buddy. Age range.
Well, age is a number because 45, you could look like you're 22.
No, but
And
you
see,
can't say
and that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm
maturity
saying.
level is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like if you're 45 years old, you're not going to date somebody who's 21.
Well,
because they're in that club stage,
obviously
you don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Even me being a 31-year-old woman, I'm not going to date no dude who's 25. Like, I don't have time for that.
Right. And
because it basically feels like I have to raise you to teach you how to treat me and what you're supposed to do. Nobody has time for that.
And on top of that, too, women mature faster than men. So a 31-year-old woman is going to be a light years beyond a 25-year-old man anyway.
So don't we think a lot of this had to do potentially, we say that now, but like almost the sugar daddy and the sugar mama philosophy. Right now, you're saying you wouldn't date older. You're trying to tell me if a 45-year-old dude comes up to you, multi-millionaire, 100,000-aire, You're giving the face now. You'll say it on camera. I understand, but think about it. You're not going to try to give him a chance for
But
a date or two.
why does he have to be a multimillionaire? Because he doesn't know that involves money. And everybody's going to say yes.
If
I would say
Idris-
yes. I'm like, heck
If
yeah.
Idris Elba-
I mean, I'm going to live the life of luxury with a multimillionaire.
Okay,
Right.
I don't know what your taste is, but I know Idris Elba is like the flavor of the
Oh,
month.
Idris Elba?
Okay, so wait, okay, so say I don't know how it is, but let's say he's 45 and he says, excuse me. He strikes up a conversation, wants to exchange numbers. You'd say, no, you're 45. you're too old.
No, I sure wouldn't.
See?
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
So it's a
for him,
contradiction.
heck no.
Contradiction.
Thank
You
you.
know the funny thing about that too, in my experience, is that some of the Cougars, they just give it to you. They just give it to you. Like they're like,
Do you want this?
Do you want this? You need
yeah.
something? Do you need your car paid? You need your car note paid and stuff like that? How's everything? You want some new clothes? Like they'll just give it to you. I don't even have to ask. They just give it. So it's like I don't know.
That's the money hungry ones. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was out at Darrell's and I seen a whole bunch of young girls with these older men. He was just buying groups of the girls their drinks. And she was like, "Oh, you going home with me, Daddy?"
See?
Like, so I think it's just like she wanted to see what she could get. It wasn't more fun. I mean, he was probably trying to have fun, but she was trying to come up.
Eventually, until they hit the, he's going to try to take her bed. Obviously, we already know that.
And a lot of things too is that these older women and men, they don't want any commitment really. They already been through that already. They don't want kids. They don't want nothing. They just want to have fun and do their thing, and then that's it. So
what's wrong with that then? Like in that case, what's wrong with dating someone who's older?
how come they can't date somebody that's 41
But see,
or,
but look,
or
all
their
right.
age?
All right,
You gotta
this
go
way.
to like the 35.
All right, so you take a man, the typical black man, say he's 44 years old. He's already been married. He's already had his kids. He's divorced. He's just kind of living the single life. He meets someone who's 32, 33. They hit it off, and maybe he doesn't even know her age right off the bat. They hit it off and have a good time, and the chemistry's there. All of a sudden now you're cut off because I'm 32 and you're 45, and he's already been married. He doesn't want anything serious.
But the difference,
He just wants to enjoy
but the
himself.
difference with that is that how long is that 45-year-old man going to continue to want to do that? Because that gets boring sometimes. Like even with me, I mean, I'm 26. I still don't go to the club every night and go out and go partying all the time.
But you don't have to go party at 45. You can go to a poetry reading. You can go
But
to.
does she want to do that?
It depends on the mentality and the maturity and what you like. I mean, not all 33-year-olds want to go drop it like it's hot. Some like some like to do more low-key things, like go to a play, go to a poetry slam, maybe just go for a drink, go for, just low-key stuff. You know what I mean?
So do we think then, I'm going off your philosophy and what everyone's kind of saying, does a Cougar or Jaguar kind of need to buy you, per se, for you to even consider it?
No, because I look at it like, I'm a man. I like to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm a very prideful person, so you don't need to buy me anything. Now, if we're going out and you want to pick up the tab, fine. But it doesn't mean I can't do it. Like, I don't need you to pay my car note or pay my rent. You don't have to do all that.
What do you feel? Especially, you said you dated someone older, too.
Well, I dated someone older, yeah, but I won't do that again.
How much older was he than you?
It wasn't so much his age older, like his attitude was older. He just carried himself like an old man, so everybody thought he was older than what he was.
Oh, okay.
Because he acted like an old man. He looked like an old man. He walked like he was just.
He walked like an old man.
Like, you know how some people could just carry themselves different, and their attitudes are just different. Like if he was acted his age, then we probably would have meshed better. But because he acted older and I was still 21, 22, I'm being 21, 22, and he's not being.
Okay.
Yeah, so that he's like more settled. So I understand that.
So does a Jaguar, do they kind of have to buy you to get your attention at first?
I mean, no. Like, I don't. It's like what he said, the chemistry. If you like mesh well, it's fine. But I mean, once you start going out more and their age comes out more, it's like, okay, well, we're back when they start using words like back in the day, and I'm looking like, what do you mean back in the day? Like, I'm here today.
No,
I don't know what it was like in the 60s and 70s. So it's like, how do I really relate to somebody who are basically you're more experienced than I am?
Or even their slang is a little different
it's
too.
different.
Right?
It's old.
It's
And
old
I'm like,
slang.
oh,
Hot dog.
yeah.
How about you? Is it the only incentive to dating an older woman is basically what they could provide?
No, not at all. What happened in my situation was, I was approached and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was just benefits. There was just benefits on top of that. So it was just like she handed me money, this and that and the third. I didn't ask for it. I mean, sometimes I rejected it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say no all the time.
Of course.
If someone putting money right in your face and right there, you're gonna be like, nah, I'm all set. Come on, let's be real. Yeah, I'll take that. That's all that's about.
That's not bad, not bad. And how about you? I know you said that your old man standing on your 2 feet. I get that. But to his point, if she's giving you or she's like, oh baby, I want to pay for this and that, you're not going to accept
I mean, it all depends. Like, I mean, if she
exception to the
no,
rule.
no.
Right?
What I mean is, like I said, if we went on a date and she said, no, I got this, even though I already had cash, if she wanted to pay for it, fine. You know, if she's like, hey, it's your birthday, I want to get you, you know, a nice pair of Timberlands or a new jacket or something. All right, but if you're sitting there like treating me, you know, like here, just take it. Like, we're not making it rain. What am I, stripping? What you doing? Just giving me money all the time.
So you're not gonna take it?
No, no. Like I said, if it's something like you're treating me, yeah. But
You didn't answer it. You didn't. I just want to go to that.
I wouldn't take it because at the same time, you don't want to feel like, you know, you can be bought. You know what I mean? You don't want to feel like, yeah, okay, well, I'm a charity case just because you have money. Because you know what? That could turn around and manifest itself in her behavior, and she could start thinking, oh, please, I mean, this broke dude. You know, I can just give him some dough. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want it to get to that point.
Hold on. But at the same time, you don't. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. But at the same time, she's giving it to you. So if you feel that way, that sounds like some insecurity problem.
No.
No shots. It just sounds like, believe me, I can go get whatever I want too. But if somebody's gonna give me something, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, but you
mean?
have to take it all the time.
I'm not gonna take it all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So if she gives you something 10 times, you're gonna take it 9 times?
Well, why not? If
That's where we're different. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but it seems like she's buying you though.
That's
every
what I'm
time,
saying.
But
every
that's-
time she sees you, every time she calls you, she has to give you money to basically go up with her, or give you money to
See,
sleep with her.
Okay,
Or you accept
I
it?
get what everybody's saying. I get with that, but at the same time, I'm not gonna just not let the benefit, the money or whatever she give me just sit there.
All right, so what if she washes your face with it later on? Let's say you guys get into it and
But
she
I don't
throws
care
in your
about
face
it.
about, well, you know, I'm always
There's no
giving
feelings
you money.
attached.
See,
There's no feelings
Well, you
attached.
can't say that because you don't know how long you're dating. You don't know what level you've gotten. It can't just be, okay, come over, I'm going to give you some money and that's it. I'm sure you spent time, you talked on the phone, you got to know each other, and then the money aspect kicks in. Again, what if you guys get into it and she's throwing it up in your face like, yo, you know.
See, there's not a difference. Like I said, different message. In my situation, she was already settled down.
Mhm.
So whatever, there's no talking on the phone. There's none of that. It's like, oh, you busy? You want to come through?
So just a booty call. pretty much.
Basically. So
Okay.
So it's not like I have feelings for the person.
Okay, I
But
thought
it seems like you
that
were
you guys
paid
were-
though, because you like, you know, she put the money
Well,
down on the
if she
table
put it-
and you're
like
calling
I
for a booty
said,
call,
like
so
I
you get
said.
paid to get that booty. I mean,
Hey, you know what?
He's a
To
cheat.
each his own. To each his own.
So there's
I would
actually there's actually a website out there. I forgot the name of the website where they're hooking up college kids with older men and women. Did you guys hear about that?
Was it college for Cougars or something like that?
It was something to that. No, seriously,
Right,
it was like
college
something
for
to that degree. You guys haven't heard about that? So
No.
I could be honest, to almost his point, if I was in college, and I wouldn't go on the website looking for the date, but to his point, if you're going to receive if she's just putting the benefits out there, why not take it? If it's not me, it's going to be Billy or Joe. So why? It's okay that I feel like it's okay in ways for you to take it. So even for these college kids going on these websites, or
Trying to get money.
I think they're looking at it.
Paid.
I think it's a stereotype. To your point, it's a stereotype. If you're dating an older woman or older man, they're just going to give you financial benefits.
well, they're
anyway.
more financially stable.
Right.
We can put
Correct.
that like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I dated an older man, 54, of course he should have a house. His career should be set. He has his 401k, his life insurance all together. So if he possibly has a heart attack, no, something great. But I mean, you know that. I mean, they're more financially stable.
Would you date Denzel Washington? He's 60 now.
Yeah.
Is he really?
He's 60.
He's a nice looking man, but no.
No.
He's
Would
too
you go
old.
on a date with Denzel Washington?
I mean, yeah, I would, but it wouldn't feel right still. I would feel like daddy daughter, honestly.
How
I
about
would
you?
probably go on him if he was Denzel. Go on a date with him if he was Denzel Washington. Now, if he was Ezel from down the street and he was 60, but he still looked like Denzel, I probably wouldn't.
What about
but
Eddie
the
Murphy?
fact that he's
No,
No.
Nah, they look like
Eddie
old
Murphy.
heads. That's why.
Eddie Murphy. No.
Eddie Murphy, no.
Mm-mm.
So my question is, when you guys get to that stage of being older, you're not going to look at the younger crowd. You're not going to look at them.
I mean, I could say the man's handsome, but I wouldn't be like, I'm going to put money on the table and be like, you going to come swing through.
So, so for you guys that have dated older guys and older girls, were you guys ever in a situation where they had kids around your age bracket?
Yeah, honestly. The one that I dated, an older guy, he was 12 years older than I was, and he had 4 kids. And to my none, that 4 just went right over like that. And I said, so what do you expect out of me and you? Because I want kids, and maybe 3. And that'll make 7 if I had to end up having kids with you. Yeah. And he wasn't trying to hear that. He was like, oh, well, we could have maybe 1 or 2 more or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but still, we have nothing in common.
Well, see, that's what I was saying. It all depends on your expectations. Like, you wanted kids.
Yeah.
You didn't want any more kids. So when it gets to that level, then you say, you know what? I'm straight. But if he's like, no, I don't want no. If you didn't want any kids and he already had kids, look, we just enjoy each other's company, then that's fine.
So it really depends on the intent of what are you looking for. Are you looking for something serious, a booty call, whatever the intent is per se?
Because if I hypothetically dated a woman who was in her 50s, or say 50s, right? And all her kids were grown and out the picture, then I'm not worried about it. I don't have to meet your kids. I don't have to be exposed to your kids. But say I'm dating a woman who's in her 40s and she still has a 13 or 14-year-old, then that's when it's like, especially someone as big as they are. I don't, you know what I mean? It's just like, yo.
Them kids are tall nowadays.
Yeah,
my
man.
goodness,
Yeah, like,
them kids are tall.
I'm 6 feet and I got like 13-year-olds are like 6'4", 6'5". I'm like, damn, what you taking?
Go ahead.
I was so, like, just to put out there, if my daughter came home with somebody my age, nah.
It wouldn't be acceptable.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
That's a great point. How would you feel if you had a child, a daughter or a son that came home with someone that was around your age bracket, 2-3 years apart? He's saying it's not acceptable. How about you guys?
Well, I know for sure my own mother told me he was too old for me.
Okay.
That's what she told me. She was like, the first thing out of her mouth was how old he was. I told her, and she was like, yeah, he's just too old. Like, he's like, Michelle, you have nothing in common with him.
Okay.
So the next thing she's gonna ask is, what are your intentions with my daughter? That's what they want to know next. That's what a parent's gonna think. So it's like, you have nothing in common.
So if you're a parent, would you accept that?
No, I wouldn't.
How about you two?
If my son brought someone home older, I don't know. I don't think I would accept it. I remember this younger boy liked me. And, like, I know his mom, like, me and his mom are not the same age, but, I'm older now, so we was talking, she was like, if my son brought you home, I wouldn't mind, but your son's still playing PS2. No, we don't have anything in common, like, it's just weird. So, if my son brought an older woman home, I wouldn't think that she had good intentions. Like, what do you want with my baby? He's still a baby.
How about you?
I mean, it depends on how old. I mean, no, seriously, because, I mean, like, if my son or daughter is 17, they're bringing home someone 35, I'm like, come on, man. But if they're grown, if my son or daughter is 30, and they say, Dad, I want you to meet,
a 53-year-old.
Tony, he's 46, and you're 30, I don't care. I mean, you're grown. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you're 18 and this person's in their 30s, like almost old enough to be your parent, then no.
Okay. All right. Seems like everyone has a little bit almost on the same page. You're coming a little bit from the different side of the spectrum, but it seems like everyone else is pretty clear on the same page. Myself, if I have a kid, I don't think I would accept it, especially if I have a daughter at that. Dealing with the older guys, me being a guy, I already know what guys are about. I probably would not accept.
Can I put you guys on the spot real quick?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What's your name? Marquise. What's the oldest you would date right now at your current age? What's the oldest? Like, just where you draw the line.
Dating? It'll probably be, I had like at least 30, like around 30, nothing over 35.
All right, Michelle, if he's not Idris Elba, what's the oldest you go?
About 38, 39.
Okay. 39.
If you talk about just dating,
Your current age, like you guys are dating, kicking it, you're seeing each other pretty on the regular.
In the 30s, just early 30s. Just cut that off. Just early 30s. Early 30s.
I'm going to say early 30s, too.
Okay.
You
I'd say I do 40s.
Okay.
I do 40s.
Not bad. I mean, this is great. It was a good conversation. I think we have the truth be told on this Cougars and Jaguars conversation. Meet us next time when we go into other topics. That's right.